Boomerang is back next week on CBBC. Hello, I'm here, hope you're well. I'll be chatting to Lizo to find out what's happening in Newsround in just a minute. And Sally Gray's here to tell us all about a brand new series called Dinosaur Detectives. Stay tuned.
Answers that are waiting in your heart on your boomerang. Oh, boomerang.
There's also a new series of Smart with Kirsten in just a moment, so stay tuned for that too. Lizo's here now.
Good afternoon, Mr. Richard. How are you?
I'm very well.
Well, on Newsround today, we've got a great show. Last night was one of the showbiz occasions of the year, the Music of Black Origin or MOBO Awards. People like Kelly LaRock, Tina Turner, Mel G, they were all there, and we were there too. Special press pack report. And we've got a boy from the Midlands on the show. Guess what he does?
Don't know.
He breeds budgies. He's
Does
won
he now?
hundreds and hundreds of prizes. Find out all about him on Newsround live at 5.
Thank you, Lizo. I like the way you get it all out as quick as that. Thank you very much for coming in.
Sunday on CBBC is
Awesome!
the best in drama,
This is for real!
the best cartoons.
Go get 'em, guys!
CBBC on Sunday is the best adventure.
He is very, very good.
Outrageous!
Excellent.
It's action-packed.
They're in trouble.
There's only one place to be every Sunday morning.
Where?
CBBC Two, of course.
Anna and Mikey are joined by Adam Rickett this Sunday. Sally Gray's here now. How are you?
Hello there, Richard. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Looking
Good.
forward to your new series. This is the opening
know.
sequence of Dinosaur Detectives. You can see behind
Fantastic.
us. What's it all about then?
Well, come on. The idea is that we're trying to get information from all over the world. We've got super sleuths, the dinosaur detectives. They're in the 4 corners of the globe, and they send information back to me in my virtual cave.
Right, and where are they based?
They're all based, South Africa, Australia, Canada, the States, the UK team, and they all feed this information into me,
Okay.
and I feed it into the computer.
And we're talking little people here. Little
Yes,
investigators.
little dinosaur detectives, super sleuths.
And what actually are they investigating?
Oh, lots of different questions about dinosaurs. We ask a different question every day, like, what is a dinosaur? How fast do they run? What did they eat? What kind of noises did they make?
Wow.
How did they die? How long did they live for?
So basically, we're just going to find everything we ever wanted to know about dinosaurs.
Exactly. I'm going to put it into my big database, and the idea is we're going to create a virtual dinosaur park by the end of the series.
Well, let's have a look at you in action in your control room on Dinosaur Detectives.
Oh, what it looks like from our satellite, the Canadian detectives might be onto something. They're just crossing the Red Deer River, which is where many of the early dinosaur detectives first went exploring over 100 years ago. So let's see if we can make contact with them. Canada, where are you? Are you with us?
Yeah, this is Canada. We might have a lead. We're on our way to a dinosaur dig in the Badlands of Alberta. It's quite a rough trek, though, so get back to us in a bit.
At last, we're on the trail of some dinosaurs. We have liftoff. Way to go.
The control room looks amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. Wow. There's like bats flying all around my hair. I don't know what's going on. As you can see, my hair is quite different there as well.
Yeah, I was going to
Pumped up
say, don't quite know about the outfit there, Sally.
But the whole idea is it's something different. You know, it's
Yeah,
going to
okay.
be different from 50/50. It's going to be a different kind of look, and it really sets the program apart because the actual virtual reality in the studio, it just looks incredible. That cave in the background.
And do the detectives, do they find any bones when they're searching?
Yes, they find bones and fossils.
Wow.
In fact, I think at one point they actually create a big skeleton of a dinosaur.
Cool. Right.
And all that information to say is feeding
So
to
have
me.
you always been interested in dinosaurs?
Well, not particularly. I mean, I remember when I was younger going to the Scottish Museum in Edinburgh and seeing this huge big skeleton. And I used to think, oh, that's prehistoric. That doesn't relate to me. I couldn't understand it. But now there's so much wonderful footage around, especially with Walking with Dinosaurs
I watched that
BBC
the
One
other
just
night,
now.
yeah.
It's great. And with films like Jurassic Park, and you think it gives you a good idea of what it must have been like to have been around in those days when these huge, big, great beasts were roaming the earth.
I can't imagine what it was like.
Scary.
So what can we find out in Programme 1 that happens on Monday?
Program 1 asks a simple question: what is a dinosaur? And
Right.
obviously, it's very hard to find out what dinosaur is because it's all on evidence that we don't really have. It's just lots of things that we've been trying to get the evidence from things like fossils and.
Cool. Well, it
all these
sounds
things.
amazing.
You have
Sally.
to watch the series. It's going to be terrific.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for
You
having
can
me.
watch Dinosaur Detectives this Monday, 4 o'clock,
Sure you watch it.
here on CBBC One. It's time for a new series of Smart now, and it's even made the papers.
Yes, your sizzling Soaraway Smart is back. Jay Burridge, just a boy who can't say no. Find out why inside. Chalk and Cheese, Mark Spade has plenty of vote. Plus, Kirsten O'Brien launches our stunning Smart competition. All this and so much more coming up in this week's Smart on Now.
because I'm the new girl, it doesn't mean you can take advantage.
What on earth are you talking about?
This was my favourite photo. What did you have to do that to it for?
Well, explain this. What about my favourite photo?
Hello, and welcome to a brand new series of Smart. Mark, I'm sure you'd like to join me in welcoming Kirsten to the show?
Not unless she apologises to me first.
Me apologise to you? You should be apologising.
Guys! It's the start of a new series. I don't know what's just happened, but can't we get along?
Nope.
Amateurs. Oh, I must apologise, but normal service will resume as soon as I've shown you this. Yes, it's a variation on the old nodding dog, and it's so simple. The first thing you need to do is get yourself a photograph. Now, I found this one lying around Smart HQ, and I thought nothing of it, so I thought I'll cut it out and then remove the head. Very simple. Now get yourself a cardboard tube, and with a pair of scissors, cut yourself a little V at the top, like that. Spin it round and do the same to the other side. Very simple, because what we're going to do is attach an elastic band across that groove. Now, if you just put it over it once, hold on to it, twist it round, and put it around again, so there's 2 bits of elastic band in there. Very important. Now, get yourself a bendy straw and cut off just a small section at the top there, just about under half, and then bring back your cardboard tube and cut it to the length of the tube. That way you've got a perfect measurement. Now what you need to do is splay out the ends by cutting it like that and then bringing out the flaps. Give it a nice press so they stay out in a position like that. Now get yourself some tape, any old tape will do. Here's a little bit of masking tape. Attach it to the ends like that. Now get the head of your photograph, turn it round and stick this to it. There you go, press it down. And as you can see, it's nicely attached. Look at that. Fantastic. Now all you need to do is attach a weight to the end, and for this we're going to use a little bit of plasticine. Now if you just simply skewer it on like that, and if you notice, most of the weight is actually behind the head. This is very important to get a good pendulum swing. Bring back your cardboard tube. Now what you're going to have to do, it's a little tricky, is separate out those bits. Now my fingers are a little fat, so I use a little stick for this. Put in the straw, and as you can see, it's already giving a nice good swing. And because it's a bendy tube, you can really adjust the head so it perfectly gives a nice swing. And now all you have to do is attach the body back to the head. There we go. Stick it down. Look at that, fantastic, nodding away. But what about Kirsten? Now I found this photograph lying around too, so I thought I'll do one of her. Look at that. In fact, you can have a bit of fun with this. Look, what happens if I change around their bodies? Mark, I think you look fantastic in lilac. And why, Kirsten, you look even better with muscles. Ha-ha, in fact, you can do this with anyone, you know, your teacher, your parents, anything. In fact, I'm going to have a little conversation with my 2 co-presenters. Now, is Jay the best presenter on TV? And are you 2 going to get along for the rest of the series? And am I simply the best thing ever?
That's not exactly what I'd call you.
I must apologise. I didn't really look at the photos. I can explain. I just found them.
So, Jay, do you promise not to cut up any more photos?
Yeah. What's the 2nd highest mountain in the world?
No, Mark, he can only nod. Is he always this stupid?
Hey, stop nodding, will you? That's... Well, yes, you'll stop nodding, or you're just still nodding. Ugh.
Remember me? I'm Darth Kane.
Hey, ain't you that sports commentator off the telly, you know?
My mother used to fancy you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome to Top of the Tips. Let's kick off.
See what I mean? Sports commentator. He's the man.
Right, let's give it up for this week's highest climber, Jay Burridge with the nod. Here's his Top of the Tips remix rundown.
He's the man.
In at number 5, cut V's into the top of a cardboard tube. Down 3 places from number 1 at 4, stretch a rubber band across 2 of the V's. This week's number 3, cut a bendy straw the height of the roll, attach some plasticine for a weight.
And 2, open up the other end of the straw and tape on the face. And this week's top of the tips tip to the top. Clamp the straw to the rubber band and get nodding. Will it still be #1 next week? Well, it's all down to goal difference.
She's done it again.
You know what? I think my mother liked you with the longer hair, but my grandmother still thinks you're cool.
Later.
Ah, lunchtime. Lovely. Oh, not that little.
Harvard, don't run, dear.
Oi, mister, what's this then? This is 100 Canes by Andy Warhol, who was made famous for celebrating ordinary objects and reproducing that image repeatedly onto large screen prints. But what did I just say?
Oh, reproducing the image repeatedly.
Ah, yes, good lad. Ah, yes, what a...
Excuse me, I seem to have lost my little Herbert. You must have seen him. He's quite an individual character.
Oh! Yeah, 1 in a million, I would say.
Hey, Jay, I've got one. Am I better than you at everything?
Oh, look, it's too late now. He's got his head screwed on again, which is just as well because it's Smart Tips time.
Yes, and the first top tip of the series is, can you tell me how to draw a mouth from the front and side? By Katie Ball, who lives in Ripley, Derbyshire. Now, here we have a man here without a mouth. And if I were to draw a line halfway between his nose and his chin, in fact, that will be the bottom of his bottom lip. If we were to do a line in front of that, a bit above it, that's his mouth. But it looks a bit straight, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is cut it down, up, down, and repeat it again, like that. And there is his mouth. Now, from the side, what that will look like is a little right angle down, like that, and then just a little line and a little line up, just to give him a little cheeky grin.
Right, there's one to get your teeth into. Now, Jonathan Green from Buxton wants to know, how do you draw the world from outer space? Well, first of all, you've got to get yourself something circular. Now, I'm using this roll of sticky tape, and then get yourself a selection of colours. Now, as the world is mostly made up of sea, use a lot of blue, combine it with a lighter shade of blue, and just scribble it inside the centre like this. Lovely. And then a bit of white for some cloud cover. Hang on, that's it. And then smudge it with your fingers. Now, I'm using oil pastels for this, but you can use chalks as well, works just as well. And keep it nice and central. And then, finally, add your continents just in the side like that, and then on the other side like that. Just top it off with a bit more cloud cover, like that. Take it away. Look at that, perfect. It's out of this world.
Hey, he's no space cadet. Well, to the smartphone now, and on the line is JP Godfrey from Palmer's Green in London. Hello, JP, what can we do for you?
Hi, can you show me how to paint sunsets in watercolour?
Ah, certainly. Jay, you're a bit of a colourful character. Will you do this one?
I certainly will. Now, the first thing you need to do is wet your paper with a bit of plain old water, first of all, like that, and then get out your watercolour kit. Now, working out with your darkest red, first of all, in the centre, and then going on some orange around the edges. It looks all a bit messy now, but I'll clean it all up later. Now, if I just give it a nice wash on top like that, blend it all out. Now, where is the sun, you're asking? Why? It's here. It's a bit of old kitchen towel on top of a lid. Now, if I press nice and hard like that, it should remove a nice circle of white-hot sun. And if I put the horizon on it there you go, setting behind the hills.
Brilliant. JP, hope that's brightened your day. Do you like that?
Yes, great, thanks.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Right, I've got this year's competition to launch, so... Jay, I'm leaving you in charge.
Oh, thank you. But I thought I already was in charge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm gonna... Get off you.
Oh, I do hope they'll be all right on their own. Now, it's time for our new and exciting art competition on this series of Smart. So get listening and get ready, because it's time to go wild.
Wow, today.
Yes, Plus, if you love wildlife, think you're wild at heart, and would like to win some exclusive arty prizes, then this is for you. And the great thing about this year's competition is there are just so many possibilities. All you have to do is create a stunning piece of art using any materials you like, but which has been inspired by wildlife in the UK.
And this year's competition is being run in association with the National Trust.
Wildlife is all around you, and it shouldn't take you long to find some. It can crop up in the most surprising places. I'm at the National Trust's Osterley Park, which is hidden away right near Heathrow Airport. Not really where you'd expect to find an amazing park full of wildlife. Now, the first thing to do is take a walk on the wild side, have a good look around and decide what you want the subject of your piece of art to be. Look at these beautiful flowers. Of course, if you live in a town, you can find flowers at the florists or in your shopping centre. Just take the time to look around the place where you live. I think you'll be surprised by what you find. Oh, this is a brilliant view. Look at that. Don't forget, if you want to remember what everything looked like when you get home, why not make some notes or take some photos? You can only send us one entry. And don't think you have to live in the countryside to find wildlife. I found all of this in West London. And if you are going on a wildlife search, remember to tell an adult where you're going to be or get them to go with you. Now for the best bit, choosing what art materials to use. This isn't just a painting competition, the choice is yours. Once you've decided, it's time to go wild at art. Excuse me. Anyone under 16 can take part, and there are 4 different age groups. 7s and under, 8 to 10s, 11 to 15s, and group entries of 3 or more people. All of this really is worth the effort because the winners in each group will get an exclusive art masterclass weekend away. And that's not all, because all the winners and the runners-up will get a fabulous selection of art materials. Well, I've finished. And don't forget, you don't have to make your entry complicated. Quite often, it's the simple things that are most effective. Have a look at this. This is a water lily I've made just out of card and pipe cleaners. And then I really like the swans that came to the bank here and just watched what I was doing. So I made a swan collage using some of the feathers I just found floating around. And I really like the view sitting here, so I thought I'd capture that. I've done a landscape picture on board using paint there. And then the leaf that just floated past me on the path, I've used that to make some lino prints. Lots of different colours there to really jazz it up. So you see, it doesn't have to be just an ordinary painting. Use the things that you find to really blow your mind. Pieces of artwork should be no bigger than 2 by 3 metres, and you must put the following information on the back: your full name, your age and date of birth, your home address and phone number, the title of your work of art, and finally get your parent or guardian to sign it to say it's yours. Then send your entry to Wild at Art, the National Trust, PO Box 105, Rochester, Kent, ME2 4BR. Entries must be in by the 29th of October, and the winners will appear on the programme with their pieces of wild art later on in the series. So good luck and have fun going wild.
Time now to take a look at your work.
In the gallery!
I don't know where Holly Ford painted this picture, but it's somewhere I'd certainly like to go.
I like the imaginative way Georgina has used shells in her collage to depict the eclipse this year.
Now, Katie's use of red in her picture makes her poppy field look really vibrant.
Smart sketchbooks are on the way to all our featured gallery artists. Now it's time for a new item with plenty of ideas that won't break the bank. So, take it away, Mark.
What? Oh, I thought Jay was doing that.
Not me.
Hang on a minute. Who is doing it then?
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Now if you've got lots of bits of paper hanging around, I've got a brilliant way to keep them together. This jazzy sports car note holder, and it started out life as an ordinary clothes peg that I've painted silver. So the next thing you're going to need is a piece of cereal box card that's cut to the size of your car and covered completely in silver foil, so it looks a bit like that. Take your silver peg and place it in the centre of the card and draw your car around it. A couple of buttons. Now these are perfect for your wheels. And if I place one a bit of black card, draw around slightly bigger than the button to make your tyre and stick them on your foil car. Back to that silver peg. Now stick it to the back of your car and there it is, finished. And it looks brilliant in silver or any colour you like. Try it yourself. You'll be quids in.
Space, the final frontier. These are the stencils of the enterprising artist Mark Spate on his 5-minute mission to boldly draw like no one has drawn before. Spate out. Yes, to mark the 30th anniversary of man's first landing on the moon, I thought I'd go for a universal theme. Inspired by Jonathan Green's smart tip question, how do you draw the world from outer space? Now, I've slightly modified it by using this stencil. But what I'm going to do is actually get some black paper, put it underneath, like that, and sit this on top. As you can see, this is well worn. That's great, because this stencil is recyclable. Now, getting some white blackboard chalk, I'm going to literally drag it across this surface like so, like that. And as you can see, the texture is creating the illusion of craters, which really does look very nice indeed. So if I just scrub that white line across the top, because the reason for that is this little circle here is actually the sun throwing down loads of light on the surface of the moon. Just pick it up a little bit more over the top. Now, on the same thing, this is going to be the Earth. So as the sun is shining on this side, of course, it's going to be lit up over here, and over here, it's going to be in shadow. Now, of course, the Earth is made up mainly of water, so the majority of the colour is going to be blue. Now, if I put a darker blue down this side here, scrub in a bit of blue there. Beautiful. Add in the continents. Access there. Like that. Just adjust them a bit more, like that. And maybe just a little bit more white there to pick the detail off. And then smudge it with my fingers. Not too much, just a little bit, just to pick up a bit of detail, like that. And then when you've done that, you blow all the debris away and lift off the stencil away from your body, like that. Look at that. Fantastic. Now, all the debris, all the little flecks, enhance the picture. In fact, what I'm going to do is enhance it even more by using a matchbox and a lump of chalk and just grating it very carefully over the top, working all the way around, like this, sprinkling a few more. Whoopsie, not too much. Remember, less is more with this. You don't want to go too mad with your planets, your stars rather. Add a bit of red for a bit of colour, and a bit of blue, like that. And then just to finish off, using your chalk, if you just put a bit of white down like that, and then just smudge it very carefully with your finger, like that, enhance it out, you'll create the illusion of really bright stars shining away. A bit more there. Now, just to finish it off, what I'm going to do is to pinch it all in slightly, pinch the composition in with a frame, and there you have a picture that is out of this world. Yes, it's one small picture for Mark and a giant one for the end of the show.
Yes, you'd have to be from another planet not to enter the smartphoning competition, because all of these prizes could be yours if you can answer this simple question. What was the name of the competition launched by Kirsten earlier? Was it A, Wild at Heart, B, mild at art, or C, wild at art? If you think you know, then phone 09001 339944, but don't blast off to the phone without permission first.
Mission Control to Jane Kirsten, please state your position, over.
Approximately 15 centimetres to your left, over.
Leftovers where? No, I mean... Oh, let's just get on with the picture, shall we? Great. Mission accomplished, everyone. Let's suit up for a moonwalk.
We'll see you for more Out of This World art next time.
So, if you're glued to art,
then stick with smart.
Bye! Jay, where's your spacesuit?
What? You didn't say anything about spacesuit.
Guys, can you help me out of this?
Next time you'll need foam board, coloured tissue paper, pipe cleaners, a yoghurt pot and paint. And if you'd like a fact sheet, then write to Smart, BBC TV, PO Box 5053, London W12 6AW. Or you can contact us on our email address.
Here's a final make you might like to try at home, a variation on Jay's nodding contraption. First up, get yourself a brightly coloured pipe cleaner and wrap it around a pen like this, as tightly as you can, wrapping all the way to the bottom. And then once you've done that, just slip it off. And then cut yourself out a brightly coloured flower just out of coloured paper and pop the pipe cleaner onto the back of the flower using tape. Just stick it on. After that, you need a bit of modelling clay and squeeze your pipe cleaner into the bottom of that modelling clay. Just really get it snug in there. And then the final touch, one of these mini plant pots, pop the whole thing into there again, squashing it right in, make sure it's secure, and then give it a really big waggle like that. Go on, give it a go. You know you want to.
That's it, everybody. Lights out, closing time. Go on. And you at home too. Goodbye.
The jungle is home to all kinds of wildlife.
Stop the combi! Yeah.
Including Lizo Thornberry and her far-from-average family. There's trouble and adventure lurking around every corner.
That was a close one.
Live life on the wild side! Welcome in the weekend with the Wild Thornberrys. Tomorrow at 4:10 on CBBC ONE.
It's Richard Tightop here with Vicar Grove in about 10 minutes. It's the day of the DJ competition and Jake has an idea for him and Sita. Firstly though, it's today's news round presented by Lizo.
The glitz and the glam of last night's Mobos. Plus, why pets mean prizes for this 11-year-old boy. Hello, and we start with last night's star-studded Mobo Music Awards. Hip-hop, dance and R&B was spinning on the decks as the pop world collected their prizes.
with smart.
Bye.